In Bragonis, the echoes of empire still linger. Jungle temples swallowed by vines, thrones forgotten beneath ash and time. But its people remember. For centuries, the human Himeko ruled with steel and sorcery, raising cities from stone and chaining the dragon-blooded Tlycan beneath them. That yoke broke only 30 years ago in the fires of the War of the Dragon Mark. Now Bragonis teeters between past and future. Wounds still bleed, names still burn, and the promise of something greater stirs in the north. But something has changed. Word has spread of ships being built in Nexotl's harbors, of a voyage bound for a forgotten continent across the northern sea. Dugalion, untamed, unclaimed, and perhaps unconquerable. The expedition promises riches, glory, and a place in the history books for those bold enough to seize it. For many, it is a fantasy. For you, it could be your only chance. You are not yet heroes, not yet known. But when the ships set sail, only the chosen will step aboard. The question is simple. What will you do to earn your place? Welcome to the voyage of the Ketzal Tolma. At the mouth of the Serpent's Maw River, where stone meets sea and jungle meets sky, stands the city of Nexotl, once a fortress of chains, now a crucible of change. Freed from Himmekan control after the War of the Dragon Mark, Nexotl has become like other Bragonian cities. Its streets pulse with ambition, rebellion, and rediscovery. Here, Himmekan merchants, Tlycan mystics, and foreign agents brush shoulders in crowded markets. The scent of spice and steam, of steel and sweat, drifts on the ocean breeze. It is a city built on broken histories and trembling foundations. The Tlycan favor embroidered wraps called chalka, often dyed in the colors of the jungle, jade, rust, indigo, and gold. Their ceremonial garb includes ornate Namalchi cloaks, studded with carved bone or obsidian plates. The Hymakans, by contrast, wear sarakas, elegant long coats of silk or lacquered linen, often displaying crests of lineage and status. Street vendors shout over each other to sell tamamaku, a sticky sweet fruit jelly wrapped in banana leaves, or offer bowls of steaming rice with fried fish, seasoned with shika pepper, a crimson spice both feared and adored across the continent. Even the bravest will sweat beneath its heat. Beyond Nexotl lie the deeplands, steamy jungles and towering cliffs, the ancestral lands of the Tlycan, who still whisper their ancient names to the trees. Farther still, Himmekan enclaves cling to their old authority, desperate to reclaim what they've lost. Hidden shrines, flooded ziggurats, and long-forgotten god roads sprawl beneath moss and vine. Bragonis is not one land, but many, a tapestry of pain, pride, and power. And it is from Nexotl, this fractured jewel of the northern coast, that the voyage into uncharted waters begins. It has many names now, the New Land, the Shattered North, the Green Ocean, but the Orcish wayfinders have claimed the right to name it after the one who discovered it, Dugalion. First charted in secret in 1183 PC, the continent has only recently emerged from the fog of rumor into the light of ambition. Its shores are wild and tangled, its interior a mystery, uncharted, untouched, and untamed. For 2 decades, the Orcish navigators have kept its secrets close. But now, scattered routes have begun to appear, traded, stolen, or pieced together from tales and storms. A fever has taken hold. Explorers, scholars, exiles, and profiteers all dream of planting their flags in Dougalion's soil. What lies inland is anyone's guess. Ancient ruins, rich veins of untapped ore, beasts never named, and plants with powers yet unknown. Some claim to have seen strange lights dancing over the treetops at night. Others whisper of civilizations that fled the plague centuries ago and now return changed. Dougalion is a blank space on the map, and for those brave or desperate enough to venture there, it is a place to write your name in the world. Bragonis is not bound by one people or one lineage. Its bloodlines are a tangled vine, twisted by conquest, shaped by rebellion, and steeped in magic and memory. Across the canopy cities, the river palaces, and the mountain enclaves, you will find all manner of folk. But 5 peoples make up the heart of this land's story. Once enslaved, now rising, the Tlyken are a proud people, descendants of dragons and mortals alike. Their skin bears the warmth of sun-baked stone, and their hair, though black, shimmers with metallic or gemstone-toned highlights: copper, sapphire, amethyst, or jade. Their eyes reflect the same hues, glowing faintly with a draconic fire. Even their gaze reveals their legacy: slitted pupils and colored sclera, subtle signs of the beast within. In Tlyken culture, lineage is sacred. The color of your eyes may trace your ancestry back to a dragon's breath. The Himeko once ruled these lands with spell and steel. Though their empire has crumbled, their influence remains. Himekans are smaller in stature, with pale skin and refined features. Epicanthic folds, straight black or brown hair, and striking golden or green eyes are common. They favor elegance in all things: fashion, speech, architecture. Though the days of dominion are past, many Hymekans still see themselves as stewards of knowledge, culture, or power. Bragonian Dragonborn are more than warriors. They are symbols. Descendants of Tlyken bloodlines and ancient dragons, they display the full chromatic and metallic range of scales. Unlike other Dragonborn of the wider world, they are born with long, muscular tails and greater variance in scale texture and patterning. In Bragonis, Dragonborn are not rare curiosities. They are siblings, rivals, leaders, and rebels. Unlike their deep-delving kin across the continent, Bragonian dwarves are sun-dwellers. Their skin shines like polished gold, and their hair and beards spring in tight coils. They favor bronze work, fire-kissed carvings, and mythic storytelling, often speaking in song as much as in speech. Many serve as artisans, stone singers, or lore binders, living bridges between the old ways and what is to come. The dense cities of Bragonis would not be complete without their most nimble denizens, the clever and adaptable rat folk, known for their trade networks, smuggling routes, and subtle magics. And standing at the edge of every conflict, every frontier, are the orcs and half-orcs, fierce and pragmatic, shaped by generations of survival and exploration. Some serve as guides or mercenaries. Others still walk the shadowed paths of the orcish wayfinders who discovered Dougalion. These are the peoples of Bragonis, diverse, enduring, and hungry for something greater. In a land so fractured by history, power does not rest in thrones. It lives in names, in flags, in whispered titles passed behind closed doors. Whether you seek favor, freedom, or fortune, you will find yourself brushing against these forces sooner than later. The Orcish Wayfinders, Lords of the Waves. There are few in Edagon more respected or more feared than the Wayfinders. Born from Orcish clans that charted the sea lanes before most knew which stars to follow, they are navigators, captains, and kings of current and tide. To be born aboard a Wayfinder ship is to be sea-born, groomed from childhood for leadership, diplomacy, and command. But the Wayfinders are not a closed circle. Those who prove themselves worthy at sea, those chosen by the ocean itself, may become sea-given, accepted among their ranks through trial, sweat, and salt. In the expedition to Dugalion, the Wayfinders hold the maps, and whoever holds the maps holds the future. The 100 Hands, crime in the cracks. There is a saying in Nexotl: if something was stolen, it was stolen by one of the 100. The 100 Hands are not a guild. They are not a gang. They are a network, a shadow cast across Braganus that moves through alleyways, whispers and secrets. Cut purses, smugglers, assassins, corrupt nobles, all may fall under the 100's reach. And at its center is a name no one speaks aloud: the Serpent of Nexotl. Most say they're myth. Others say they pull the strings of half the city. Now, as eyes turn northward toward Dugalion, so too do the shadows. For where new wealth flows, so does the hand that takes it. The Cindervale Consortium, merchants of flame and silk. Coin speaks louder than crowns, and none speak louder than the Cindervale Consortium. A merchant alliance originally born from the shattered trade houses of Himiko cities, the consortium has remade itself as a cosmopolitan empire of trade. They deal in rare spices, relics, arcane reagents, and contracts etched in soul ink. They wear veils of perfumed silk and smiles sharper than obsidian. And in Dugalion, they see a land of endless profit. Expeditions funded by the Cindervale bear their black and crimson banners, and their agents are known to buy loyalty from nobles, captains, and even priests. To work with them is to grow rich. To cross them is to vanish. The Dominion of Flame, Bragonus's colonial ambition. When empires fall, ambition does not die. It simply changes flags. The Dominion of Flame is a rising power within Braganus, composed of former Himikon nobles, war priests, and military strategists who refuse to accept their diminished role. Posing as a civilizing force, the Dominion seeks to establish permanent colonies in Dugalion, carving out estates and strongholds in the name of order. They believe Bragonus is destined to rise again, not as it was, but as something stronger, forged in the fires of conquest. With a private army of mercenaries, tamed war beasts, and sorcerer generals, the Dominion will stop at nothing to stake their claim. They call it destiny. Others call it invasion. The Shroud of Uel, keepers of the hidden flame. Not all faith is sung in temples. Some is whispered in tombs or carried in the breath between prayers. The Shroud of Uel is an esoteric religious order that worships Uel the serpent flame, a divine embodiment of transformation, rebirth, and knowledge through trial. They believe Dugalion holds sacred sites from an ancient age, perhaps even the cradle of Yel's fire. The Shroud sends pilgrims disguised as scholars, archaeologists, and wanderers. Their symbol, a coiled serpent devouring its own tail, can be found etched into stone, painted on ships, or branded into skin. Some say they seek enlightenment. Others believe they want to awaken something sleeping beneath Dugalion's soil. Whatever the truth, they are already there. The voyage awaits, a land untouched, a continent reborn. From the broken thrones of Dragonis to the endless wilds of Dugalion, your story is just beginning. You may be cast-offs, outlaws, dreamers, or worse, but all it takes is one voyage, one choice to set the fire burning. Will you chase glory? Will you seek truth? Will you claim what others fear to touch? Dugalion will test you. Dragonis will haunt you, and the sea will carry your name farther than any map can reach. So gather your crew, prepare your past, shape your future, because once you step aboard the Ketzal Tolma, there is no turning back.